I want to talk about trees.
Mm-hmm. Oh, trees.
Yeah, because the problem with you and Hillary and Donald is you're all tree people, and you're not seeing the
forest.
The issues that are going on here with the overpopulation, climate change, the destruction of the world, the collapse of the economy, the collapse of the food supply, the collapse of the water supply, all the migration issues, not just Europe, but here in the United States and everywhere else. This is all being caused by dramatic, major changes in the world that nobody ever mentions.
Gary, you are right. And
you know what you're doing? You're arguing about what Donald and Hillary are standing arguing about whether we should paint the barn red or blue, and the barn is burning down, baby.
Gary, let me tell you something. First of all, you've called my show and you've called other shows making mention about all these issues, right?
That is correct, and nobody gets it.
No. And believe it or not, we do get what you're saying. And not only do we get what you're saying, but we respect what you're saying, and we cover what you're saying. And I have covered what you've said. Okay.
Why don't the candidates cover the issues?
Because you know
the major issues.
Anthony,
you're worrying about whether to use
I need
a Band-Aid or a bandage, and you're bleeding to death here.
Hold 1 second.
We're all dying here.
I tell you what, Gary, I want to get my daughter is in the studio with me, and she wants to say something, and then immediately after I need to give you an answer, because first of all, I want you to know that we're not ignoring your statement, because it's a fact-based statement and it's a necessary statement to address. So you hold on, okay, my friend?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hi, Gary. I was actually going to respond to you personally, and I'm of the younger generation. I'm in my mid-20s, and a lot of the topics that you're mentioning, people in my age group bring up, because honestly, we don't watch MSNBC and CNN and Fox News that's usually for a different generation. So a lot of my news, to be quite honest, comes from Facebook, and that's why it was so refreshing when Bernie was there to highlight the topics that were talked about. So just to give you a little more faith in us, we agree with the topics that you're talking about. We are very much about, the environment and all the different things that aren't being discussed, but they're just on different platforms. They aren't on the platforms that we are speaking of today.
Okay, but we're still going to elect a president.
Yes.
I understand.
Who doesn't seem to know what direction to point the boat, and we're all going to drown.
And remember what I've always told you and others on this show, Gary, and why it is that you have a voice on this show, and anybody else has a voice on this show. It is, we elect the best president that we can at the time, and we don't sit back and do nothing, Gary. We get off our butts and we do what's necessary to force these guys to execute. One of the reasons why they do what they do is that we are not out there doing things, forcing them to do things, forcing their hands. And what I'm telling you is, first of all, what you're saying is absolutely true, including my daughter just confirmed that her generation is actively looking at those issues. The question is, how do we get those issues to the forefront? And that's what we are here for. That's what a KPFT is here for. That's what you are here for, Gary.
All right, well, your show is called Politics Done Right.
Yes.
And we're talking about politicians. Now, just this morning on the radio, I had a woman, a politician, I can't remember her name, responding to the earthquake in Oklahoma.
Yes.
Saying that it was all baloney. There's no such a thing as earthquakes resulting from fracking or wastewater, and it's all just a bunch of
And we
junk.
know that that's not true.
They're saying that about everything. They're saying there's no climate change as the world does.
Gary, I want to stop you there because I got to go to a break.
Let me ask a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Why won't the leaders address this? You and I do, and your daughter does, and lots of people do, the scientists do. Why are we worried about how much money goes here and how
Let
much
me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
We're all going to die.
No, let me tell you why, Gary. Gary, Gary, don't laugh. It's not a laughing matter. Let me tell you why, and then I have to run to a break.
Okay.
Because you are activated. I am activated. My daughter is activated. Shannon is activated. All these folks are activated. What we have to do is our job. And you know what our job is, Gary? To keep doing this and keep talking to people and getting more people engaged. As it's not going to happen overnight, but I have faith that, and this isn't blind faith, this is watching things occur. All right? We have to make it happen. And that is what we are going to do. And that's why I do what I do. But Gary, thanks for calling. Keep listening. And also, I should be saying, keep giving to KPFT because we got to stay on air. Take care, my friend.